Right, so last week I get a phone call out the blue, right? And it's Gary Ward. Now, this is how the phone call goes when Gary Ward calls you. Now, I've known Gary since I was a little kid. He's the very same age as my dad. I think there's about 2 or 3 years between them. And Gary's dad taught my dad to plaster. So Gary's family and my family have been quite close, but we don't see much of each other, like, you know, but there's a connection. Now, this is how the phone call goes. When you get a phone call from Gary Ward, right, it's like someone from the SAS calling you. It's literally a need-to-know basis. So I'm working away. Bear in mind, I'm busy. I've got work on, right? But this is how the phone call goes. So the phone rings. I pick it up. Hello? It's Gary. Right? All right, guys, you okay? Yeah. Ceiling, a big one, hand cove. Said, right, okay, mate, yeah, do you want to pull on it? Yeah. In the pub, Madison's upstairs. So, right, okay, Gaz. Yeah, I'll jump in with you, mate. In my man, I think I'm looking forward to it. I like, you know, he's ace, Gaz. I like working with him. So I'm like, when? He went, Monday. I've got flipping work on Monday. All right, yeah, I'll move things around. Yeah, no worries. 9 o'clock. See you then. Put the phone down. That's a phone call off Gary Ward. So let's just get on with it. This is where we are today, up there. This is the pub downstairs, and upstairs there's all big function rooms. We're going to be doing the ceilings up there today. Some big hand cove ceilings at this end. Well, I think just one. I think he just wants me to help me with that one. And there's going to be more, but not yet. They're not ready yet. Just one hand cove ceiling in this end, the big one. Look at the state of it in the back of here. This is just like a bomb site. Right, anyway, we need handboard. That's going to come with us. That trowel. Trying to not have to carry too much stuff up and down the stairs of this place, so I'm assuming I'm going to need a few bits with me. All the mixing gear Gary will have, so let's get an angle brush, handboard trowel, angle brush, bucket trowel I think, and flat brush, and that should do me. Here he is, in his natural habitat. So, turned up, it's all scaffolded out for us so we can just walk around, which is a pleasure. Gary's been in, he's put all the coves in. We've just been round and SPR'd them all now. So all the ceiling's already curved in. It's all beaded up, we're ready to go. So as you can see, I've turned up at 9 o'clock when Gary told me to get there. Gary's already been in, rounded everything in, beaded up and set the scaffolding up. So you're starting to get a gist now for the type of fella Gary is, aren't you? He's a 61-year-old plastering machine. Let's begin. The excitement begins. Now what's going to happen is, I'm going to go round the edge of the ceiling and do all the hand cove, and Gary's going to take the main centre of the ceiling, the bigger area, and he's got all the intricate bits to go in and out, the blocks of wood and the bolts that stick down. So all I've got to worry about is just putting the curve in right round the edge of the ceiling, and that works for me. I'm happy with that, and Gary's happy with putting the big centre on, so it works out quite well. Now, I don't see Gary very often, literally once or twice a year, but today's a special day. Today, Gary informed us it was his 61st birthday, so what a way to spend your birthday with me putting a big lid on. So he's had to slow down a bit as well, Gaz, because he's getting on a bit now. He's 61 and he's had 3 heart attacks, so he said to me he only works 6 days a week now. He's had to slow down a little bit.
final push.
No, you be speaking. Yeah, then now, yeah. You. Yeah, it's lovely and soft as well, still.
Nice and soft, yeah.
That's it.
You got a small shirt or so?
In his knickers, he has, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Did you get it? It's where you go down.
Yeah.
You going in the van, is he?
No, you go with his car. Like, do us a favour, show on them corners, because I'm trying to get down this quite quick. I haven't given loads of details of the corners, so just show how messy I've got them. Ideally, you want them neater than that.
Well, neater than that.
But I'll get on that now, when I flatten it, I'll get a little spatulas and fix them. You just know that one, guy?
Eh?
You just know that corner, I think. So now what I'm going to do with them corners is just before I start getting all the curves troweled up, I'm just going to go round with this, because this fits into these a lot nicer. And get them some sort of good shape. These are a great little tool because of the shape of the back of the plastic scraper. It stops it digging into the opposite side of the angle. They're only about £5 for about 6 of them off Amazon. Now, I'm holding the camera for myself here because Kieran's had to go. Kieran's been very naughty with his driving antics and he's now had to go to a driver awareness course, which has basically left me filming myself and Gary sort of helping out, as you'll see now. We're still trying to get Gary up to speed with how to film. It's just, we got there in the end. Spin it round, you'll be able to see in the screen.
What?
Like that, so you look in the screen.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, he's looking at me.
Tell you that way. Tell him got a new cameraman. Kieran's had to go because he's naughty. He goes too fast. And then he has to be made aware of his speed. Look, I knew he wouldn't be able to help himself. There he is, he's like a naughty school kid waving his trowel in front of the screen. Oh, it's coming down, isn't it? Yeah. Right. That's the flattening done. Now I'm going to go over it again with just giving it the first wet trowel now. Just going round making sure any little blemishes are filled in. See, like here now, you can see that there. After this trowel, you can't really get rid of them because you're not filling them with fat. They'll just be getting filled with basically water. So they've got to go now. You've got to get rid of them on this trowel. And just to make those corners even more exciting, there's a little PIR cable for every single one that I've got to try and get round as well. There we go. One thing I'm doing is I'm starting just above the bead there, so I'm not putting loads of stuff all over the bottom of the bead. Coming up there, oh sorry, keep using lines so you can see where I'm going. When I come down there, what I do is I'm doing that and then coming across just to make sure as well that that bead doesn't get curved out. So ultimately when you got this, you know, you haven't got a big massive dip. Here's the main man. Gary's got all the little bits in and out of all these little, all these little supports for the floating island. Gary's been going in and out of all these flipping tedious work, but he loves it. They've been not bad for 61, Gaz, are we? Now, let me quickly tell you something about Gaz. Right, as you probably know, in the building game, you have boom and bust, okay? So we go through highs and lows. Sometimes you're dead busy, sometimes you're quiet. What tends to happen is, when we sort of go through recessions and stuff, a lot of the fellas end up having to go and get second jobs or different jobs just until work picks back up again. So especially in the 80s and stuff, it was a tough time before my time. But anyway, Gaz ended up working at Unilever, which is like, they make all shampoos and toothpastes and all that. Have a look in your bathroom and look at the back of your label and your links or something. It'll have Unilever on it. So Gaz ends up working there on the night shift, just bringing them some extra money. Now, this is what happens when you take a plasterer, right, who all he thinks about is productivity and speed, and you put him in a different work environment. They had to get rid of him. So Gaz is on the night shift, and the engineer's having a problem on the line. They're working on the production line, and one component has to be glued to another component, and there's a bit of time, and it's causing problem because the glue's drying. So, on his dinner break, Gaz doesn't eat, by the way. On his break, when he should be eating his dinner, Gaz goes and starts speaking to the engineer about helping sort this problem out. And between them, they work it out. If they speed this up and do this, at the minute they're knocking out 1,000 units per shift. Something like them. Them sort of numbers. They're doing about 1,000 per shift. And that's the target. Every shift they've got to be about 1,000, right? Enter Gary Ward, who then tweaks the system, speeds this up, gets this going, working with the engineer. Yet you can get this to there. Anyway, gets the thing firing on all cylinders. As the night shift are coming out with Gary, the day shift are going in, and they're greeted, and the exchange went something like this: "All right, lads, did you hit the target last night? Did you hit 1,000 and all that?" You know, trying to see where they were up to. Gary says to him, "Yeah, we've got that thing singing now. It's firing on all cylinders." He said, "Your new target's 5,000. Crack on." He's just, they were like, "We need to get rid of this fella." They all had to work like the clappers. Yeah, he didn't last there long. He was back skimming not long after that. That's it now. That's the second wet trial. Just coming in now. Could do it without even looking. Don't try that. Watch me digging in a second, that'll do that. Just going to nip round now, sort these angles out. Make sure all the corners, make sure they're spot on, and then quick polish, and that'll do us. Gary's sorting the middle out now. Guy's going in and out of all those little things, trying not to smash his head off the top of them as he's going. That's it now, just nipping round, giving it the polish. Clean the bead down as we go. That's it. Another one bites the dust. Now, I'll have to show you from down there, I think. It's got a lovely polish on it, but you can't really see it because of the light. Now, as soon as we finished that lid, we jumped down, took the scaffolding down, and just popped on 2 nice walls to finish the day off. Now, through my plastering life up to date, I've tried to learn as much as I can from different people. And although my dad taught me, I learnt all sorts of stuff from different fellas. Gary is responsible for teaching me the first time I ever saw it, never seen it before. I was about 17 years old, and Gary showed me about how to put a step in the cornice, in the coving. Absolutely fantastic. Doesn't half set it off. So if you've ever seen my living room, I'll show you now. Gary, I've got you to thank for showing me how to do that. Another thing, when Monocouche render first kicked off, you know, around where I live, when I'd first ever seen it, the first person that I ever knew of to be doing it and taught me was Gary as well. So cheers for that. Gaz, it was a pleasure working with you today, mate. Happy birthday. Happy 61st. Take it easy, mate.